It's a bad sign, right?
Timberland takes too many dumps.
Okay, blue button is pressed. It's showtime, baby!
Hot.
Those 7 days have almost passed. There is little that needs to be said. So they will say all of it.
Oh, no.
That is
you
like,
hang up on him?
you did it again.
Oh, no.
Why? This is becoming a thing with you.
Oh, no.
Wfod begins now.
Hello and welcome to this thing we call the Wfod. My name is Mike. I am joined, of course, by my good friend, the king of pranks, the albino alligator, popcorn bitch, Mr. Travis Hulse.
Hello.
The phone number to contact the show is 636-487-HAND or WFOD show on Skype. Travis, we have
Yes, sir.
one hell of a program in store for everyone tonight. Our friend Jodie is supposed to be here. He's having some sort of technical issue, Travis.
That seems to be a thing lately, right? Technical difficulties.
We tested. I talked to Jodie for like 15 minutes. Had him on video, looked great. Audio sounded good. Now I just can't figure it out, Travis. Can't figure it out.
Huh.
Travis,
Well, maybe we'll talk to Jodie soon.
Coming up after the break, we are going to be talking to Petri Hawkins-Byrd. He was the bailiff on the Judge Judy program for 25 years.
Whew, that's a long time.
He's doing a YouTube show with his wife, who will also be joining us. Her name is Makita Byrd. Bonding with Bird is the name of the show. Looking forward to talking to them. Travis.
Yeah.
So, is this gal in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, it's important to a girl to be liked in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't you say it's important for all people to be liked in high school?
I've never been a girl, Travis, and so it's hard for me to put it together, but I think it might be harder for them.
You're probably right.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the same. I don't know.
It probably is. There's a lot of pressure on a young woman.
She was...
And are we becoming feminists?
Maybe. Hi, Jodie.
Hey, guys.
Jodie.
Sorry, was I doing something wrong?
I don't know what was going on.
Usually.
But
Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm asking.
Now.
I just want to make sure if you do apologize or something.
Well, you can apologize if you want to.
I'm sorry.
So her name is Emily Grover, Travis, and what she wanted to be is the homecoming queen. And
what young girl doesn't want to be the homecoming queen, right?
Well, she was a good tennis player, apparently, and an A student. And her...
I hope she doesn't say anything bad about China.
Her mom was a principal at a different school within the same district.
Okay.
And what is alleged is that she logged in to her mom's account so that she could get a whole bunch of her fellow students' birthdays so that she could then vote for herself like hundreds of times from different kids' accounts that she should be.
Oh, was this queen. This is a digital voting situation?
Yeah.
So all she needed was the name and the birth date, and she was able to vote.
I guess that was like the challenge question or something.
Like when were you born?
Right. And so, they launched this major investigation because some things didn't check out, that this gal got so many votes. And so they started like calling some of the people that voted for her and just saying, hey, did you vote for this gal? And they're like, no, I didn't vote at all. So they were, the mom and the girl were arrested and face up to 16 years in jail.
God damn.
What? Wait a minute.
For hacking the school thing, Travis.
Who did the investigation?
I don't know.
Like
I guess the
actual
authorities.
Police?
The authorities got. Think about Zach Morris, Travis. Think about how much trouble he'd be in for some of the shenanigans.
He'd be serving 3 life sentences for all of the things that he did at Bayside.
I mean, like, this just seems like schoolyard shenanigans, right? Who cares?
Well, and what did the
queen.
mom have to do with it? If the girl just like had the login and she's like, I'm going to log in under my mom's account and I'm going to vote for myself for homecoming. Like, what? That's not a prison thing.
Well, they investigated.
It'd be a ticketable thing. I mean, maybe like a stern talking to, and they say don't do that, and maybe keep your stuff under wraps. But it's not like go to jail time.
Especially because she's a minor, right? She's a high school student.
Well,
take her to put her juvie, teach her a lesson.
She's probably right around there if she's going to be homecoming queen, right? Don't you be a homecoming queen when you're like a upperclassman, right? So she's close.
I guess you could be 18.
There's like junior court, I think. If you want to be like a sophomore, maybe, but yeah, usually homecoming is the last 2 years, I think. So
federales
16, 18.
Federales start infiltrating the school and asking a lot of questions, and all of her friends caved because they're like, "Hey, you know if she did this or not?" And they said, "Well, we don't know if she did it, but we can tell you that like we were kind of nervous about what we got on a science test, and she was always willing to log into her mom's account to tell us what we got on our science test." So like there's a precedent for this.
Oh, shit.
That she's able to do this. She
fucking snitches.
Yeah, this is just a case of bad friend picking. This is not good.
So I pulled a clip. I don't even remember what the clip is, Travis, but I think it's them sounding like liars. Let's see.
There's evidence to prove that she could not possibly have done that.
Can you share what that is?
I can't, not right now.
You have an alibi?
A lot of them.
Such as?
I'm sorry, I can't
get into
that. sound like liars, Travis.
I've been instructed by my attorney to not say any of my alibis. Thanks.
Yeah, I know we agreed to this interview, but we're not going to tell you anything.
So, what could your alibi be that you didn't log into a website? I guess, did they have a time that you logged into the website and you say, "Oh, well, at this time I was at my friend's house"?
That's the thing. That's what I'm thinking is like there can't be any evidence you didn't do it, and there can't be any alibis that you didn't do it. Like this is a pure case. Like how that's like if maybe your partner like found your porn search history. And they're like, "Oh, this is what you look for," and it's like, "No, I have evidence." They're like, "What's your evidence?" It's like, "Well, I can't get into it."
Your brother borrowed my phone that day. I wasn't even here.
You got to get Pete Townsend's lawyer and just tell him you're making a documentary about cheating at being the queen of the homecoming. Just say, "Hey, I just wanted to see what it would look like if maybe I tried to cheat. If I could."
I was researching for my upcoming book if I did it.
Yeah.
Jodie, you ever hack You don't hack, do you?
No, like not present day. No, I did so there was a retarded kid in class once upon a time, and he used to get to play fun games while we had to do like other computer learning shit in the back of the classroom.
Oh, they just like give him something to do to occupy himself, like put a puzzle together or something?
That's exactly what it was. And it had like fun little little stars and animations and shit. And
Okay.
we saw him log in one day, and then me and a friend of mine would like, instead of doing regular school shit, we would log into his thing and just play fun games. And I got caught doing it one day, and I think that he ratted on me because we both went to separate rooms and tried to log in under the thing. You know, you only one at a time, so he ratted on me because he couldn't play.
How old were you when you were trying to log in to play these fun games that were set up for a special person?
5th grade. So what's that like?
11.
Damn.
Did you have
11,
those
yeah,
cool
about,
Macintoshes with the like green back on them? Is that what you had in school?
No, it was before those. It was like the tower IBMs, I guess, was real popular in schools, and they had the headset with the little microphone that would crank down like an Xbox headset. You would just go in there and do like math and spelling and shit. And then, yeah, one day I just happened to see what he was getting to play. I go, oh, that's an easy password. I'm going to remember that. And I told somebody else, and that guy ratted me out. I got in trouble.
Travis, my
Dirtbag.
dad was a high school chemistry teacher. He's now retired. But when
Your dad was?
when I was in high school, my dad was a high school chemistry teacher, and I had the chemistry teacher's manual in the basement, and I used it to cheat on my homework all the time, and I still got a D in chemistry. Like I did not benefit from having a teacher dad. Like I took 4 semesters of chemistry, and I got a mid-D 4 semesters. I didn't get chemistry at all.
Are you sure you weren't using the chemistry Bible in your biology class, and that's why you failed?
I was getting my.
It's like,
my
I don't even
subjects
take
confused.
chemistry.
It makes a lot of sense.
Maybe that's what it is. I just thought it was chemistry. Did I ever tell you guys the story about when I fell asleep in chemistry class, and everybody thought I was dead? I don't know if I told that story or not. So we're watching a safety video about eyeglass safety, and the point of the video or goggle safety, how you should always wear goggles, and the point of the video was just to show terrible shit that can happen to people's eyes if they don't wear them. And then just flash on the screen, hey, this guy should have been wearing safety goggles. And then they go to like another, like they're playing racquetball, and a guy gets hit in the eye with a racquetball. And he goes, oh, I should have wore safety goggles. And then that's the whole video.
That
And
sounds awful.
It's like those OSHA videos that they make people watch that work in factories every couple of years. They make you sit down and watch a video from the 90s about people falling downstairs and stuff.
the video is very old. I'm sure everyone in it is now dead. And so before the video, Mr. Waters told us, he said, hey, you know, some of the content in this video is pretty graphic, and people have reacted to it. But it is important that you see it so that you know the importance of eyewear safety or whatever. And so he turns out the lights. He puts this video on, and I take this as a perfect opportunity to get like a 45-minute nap in.
Sure.
And so I fall asleep. I had my head down on my desk, but at some point, my head went back. And so I had my head rested on the girl behind me's desk with my mouth open, snoring. And she kind of nudged me forward because she didn't want me to like snore in her face.
Sure.
And I fell out of the desk onto the floor. And so Mr. Waters immediately turned the lights on and came over running to me. And when I woke up, he was cradling me on his knees, just yelling my name. And from what I heard, there's a kid off running down the hall to go because he was dead. He ran down the hall. Mike's dead. Mike's dead. Mike's dead. So Mr. Waters takes me out in the and Alan big lanyard full of keys. She was a jangling. And they take me to get juice. And Mr. Waters insisted that I had a seizure, and he called my dad. My dad said he didn't have a seizure. He fell asleep. Like he knew without even being there that I had fallen asleep.
What were you saying this entire time that you were causing this ridiculously dramatic scene?
I just like
nothing.
I must have just fallen asleep. I mean, I was confused. I woke up with my teacher. Maybe when the gal pushed me, I landed on my head and actually did get knocked out.
Like concussion, maybe? Just kind of.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I woke up and I was in Mr. Waters' arms. And I was confused.
Did you gain any fun nicknames from this?
No, Travis, never had a nickname. I've lived this entire time on this earth without one. And it's
how old were you when this happened? It was a chemistry class, right? Like what it must have been high school.
It's been grown, yeah. Because you said you sucked at it, so it's not like you were doing that shit in 10th grade.
No, I guess I was like 10th or 11th, I guess.
Yeah.
And nobody ever called you Seizure Boy, or
they never called me Seizure Boy. That would have been cool if I had been Seizure Boy.
Travis.
Yeah.
It's because Fallout Boy was already taken.
Fallout Boy. Jodie just shot a hoop and scored a 3-pointer.
He did a. You see that? That's the visual element of the show, Travis. Jodie, you're a natural at YouTube.
Yeah, they felt that. They know what happened.
People, we're not dabbing anymore when we do Some Awesome.
I felt it. I thought you were going to make it for me.
So yeah, I don't know what, because I mean she already got the cheers, she already got the crown. I mean they could posthumously, I guess, make somebody else the homecoming queen, but it doesn't matter. Like she's already lived.
It's not like they keep a list of like all of the homecoming queens, right? I mean, maybe they put it in the yearbook, but it's not like it doesn't go on like a placard in the hallway.
I guess they would have to take a new picture of like a gal. She'd have to dress up that day to get her picture.
Or maybe they would just provide all the students with like a whiteout marker and say, "Hey, turn to page 73, and where Susie Jenkins has a picture of her as the homecoming queen, just like blotch her out of that picture."
Yeah, and I want you all to forget the way you felt that day.
It didn't matter. It was lies.
Do you think that they'll actually prosecute her? Do you think that she'll actually, because she seems very smug, Travis. I don't think she thinks she's going to prison.
Oh, she probably sucks. Like any girl that would do this, and I bet her mom sucks too. They seem like a couple of suckfest suckers. But at the same time,
maybe they're really nice people, Travis. Maybe they were framed. You know, that is something to consider, Travis. What if someone framed her by voting a whole bunch of times, thinking that for sure she'll get caught, and the federales
like and her mom. That was
like a super meanie. Either somebody was super jealous of that gal, or somebody had her mom for a teacher and wanted to frame them up.
My guess is the first people to look at for this frame job is kids in her class that have law enforcement parents. Because, like, why would they even get involved to begin with? Like, why is the law enforcement even there?
Yeah, it should just be a school district thing, not a law enforcement thing.
Right.
It's not like she didn't crack into like some weird database. She just logged into her mom's account.
I guess there is personal information there that we should be concerned about. But not really.
Yeah, but her mom had access to that. Like she could have, I mean, by rights, she could have just said, "Hey, Mom, I need the birth dates of all of these people. Can you give them to me?" And then the mom could have been like, well, what do you need those for? And she could have been like, well, because I want to bring them a card on their birthday. You know what I mean? Like all this, it seems ridiculous.
Right. And I guess if you really wanted to know everybody's birthday, you just wait until the cookie cake shows down and write it down.
Right. Exactly. In reality, she should have never denied logging into the account. She should have just said that she wanted Jennifer Wheeler's birthday because she had a big surprise planned.
And then I guess, what are the cops going to say? I mean, like, yeah, you were hacking, but it was a good-natured hack.
Yeah. See, look I got the cake in the fridge.
That's what you have to do to cover
your. It should just be a wash. Like if nobody lost any financial, anything, that should just be a washout. There's no harm, no foul.
Maybe
I'm gonna pitch. This is a movie. I'm gonna pitch it real quick.
Okay.
Just like I pitched. I just saw like a 10-year post from Little Hurricane, saying been making music together for 10 years or something like
Charles,
that.
that one came true.
And yeah, my pitch for that movie that they thought was ridiculous, and you were like, you shouldn't have did that. Was they ended up married and having a kid. Now
I'd like
they're
to
in love
think
and
you
making
planted
music.
the seed.
I think I did plant the seed. We should have them back on and ask if, when I pitched them that movie idea, that they thought about each other romantically all of a sudden. So here's my pitch for this movie. There is a boy.
By the way, Travis, you seen
Yeah.
that gal? You didn't plant the seed.
He planted the seed.
Yeah, no,
He definitely planted the seed.
That's how they had a kid.
Yeah, he had that gal show up and say, "I wanted to play drums for you," and he said, "Okay."
Yeah.
You may have guided. You guided the seed.
Here's the long con. I just want to be in a band.
Yeah, wink, wink. Let's start a band. Wink, wink.
So there's a kid in the mom's class. This boy. He hates her for some reason. This is going to be a real quick, rough outline.
Okay.
He knows a girl in her daughter's school, who he is pretending to date to get close to her. So this girl is the one that knows that she is the daughter of the mom. She frames her up so she can be with the boy. The mom and the daughter go down. I don't know. There has to be some payoff for the boy. The reason that he did it, besides just not liking the teacher.
Can I give a caveat, Travis? Can I add?
Please, this is a brainstorming sesh.
Trans boy
Ooh.
who wants to be the prom queen.
Oh.
And he goes to apply, and maybe she's like the head of the prom queen committee, and she's like, boys can't be prom queen. And he's like, I'll show her. And then maybe he sets up the mom and the daughter because he knows that she fucking gets in and looks at grades and stuff. So yeah, he says, I'm going to knock this bitch out and the committee leader bitch. I'm going to be the prom queen / king.
So now
We're gonna have to extend this to like a 10-episode CW series.
the runner-up, he's got to find dirt on her so that eventually it gets down to where like there is no eligible candidates to be the homecoming queen. And so they have to.
Except the lonely school principal.
Yeah. And the end is like sleepaway camp, right? The first one?
Of course. Pants come
It scarred
down.
me still think about it.
Knife goes up.
Guys, in just a minute, we're going to talk to the Judge Judy bailiff. Petri, Hawkins-Byrd, and Makita Byrd. Looking forward to that. But first, I think what we should do is we should take a break. We should regroup. And we'll be back. Travis, you're supposed to be calling him, by the way.
Ooh.
Yay. Have you noticed it doesn't matter if you're fat or thin, your belt doesn't keep your pants where you want them? That's why I invented Sticky Pants, the only pants with an adhesion strip directly at your waistline. Hairy boys need not apply. Go to WFODshow.com for more information. WFOD!
Gators in the basement, comics stacked to the ceiling, gazing at the computer glow, precious moments. Old blue Pepsi, Beanie Babies, all for sale. Somewhere in his man cave, Christmas toys all around him. Retro childhood memories, records of music, cards that say magic, sell them on eBay, hustling halls. God, I wish my voice wasn't so bad right now.
Hello, listener. There's things you need to know.
Online and on your mobile device.
This is Strange Label.
So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car.
Up on the car?
Yes, yes, yes. So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car.
Up on the car?
Yes, yes, yes. So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car. So I hopped on the car.
Up on the car?
Yes, yes, yes.
Up on the car?
Yes, yes, yes.
Up on the car?
Yes, yes, yes.
Up on the car?
Yes.
Once again, WFOD. Wheelbarrow full of dicks.
Guys, welcome back. Our guests tonight are the hosts of the weekly YouTube program Bonding with Bird. Petri, Hawkins-Byrd, and Makita Bird are on the program. Guys, how's it going?
How you guys doing?
Oh, Petri, I'm doing great, man. Are you doing okay?
Doing well, actually.
Makita there with you, or is it just you?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Makita.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, I was excited to talk to you because I saw that that you at one point produced the Dr. Oz show. And
yeah,
there was a big announcement with Dr. Oz the other day. Did you see?
I know that he's running for Senate in Pennsylvania.
Oh, goodness.
Any opinions on that?
No comment. I think he should stick to being a television personality, but, you know.
What we were saying is he'll probably win, right? Just with the name recognition and stuff, and then that'll be really, really weird. But name
Crazier
recognition
things have happened for sure.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if Arnold Schwarzenegger could be governor,
Yep.
and Dr. Oz could be.
You read my mind, baby. You read my mind. Yeah, absolutely. We want to win Pennsylvania, and we'll do that. Don't worry. Everything will be good. Get to the chopper.
Very good.
So
Pretty good.
Petri, you got into your television career by writing a letter to somebody that you know. Maybe Makita has a future in politics. You could just write a letter and say, "Hey, remember me? Do you need a?"
There you go. Like you say, truth is stranger than fiction. You know. So.
Now, if people don't know, Petri, he was the bailiff on Judge Judy's program for 25 years. You worked on that.
25 years, man.
Oh my goodness,
it's a long time to do something.
Oh
right?
Yeah. That's a long time to be tall, handsome, and silent. You know?
And so you were an actual I guess you don't say that, right? That you were because you were an actual bailiff on this show too. You did the same job, so but you know what I mean, right? You were an actual bailiff in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And
yes, I was a court officer in New York Manhattan Family Court, and that was where I first met Her Honor in that setting, and then I left New York in 1990. Left law enforcement about 1993, and started working as a high school counselor. And while doing that, I happened to read about her in Liz Smith's gossip column, and just wrote her a letter to congratulate her. And I was kidding around at the end of the letter, and I said, "Hey, if you ever need a bailiff, I still look good in uniform." Well, that little jokey joke turned into 25 years of being the bailiff on this well-known TV show.
And I guess early on it probably wasn't well known, but it kind of grew into it was. I mean, for a lot of years, wasn't it like the biggest show on television or
right.
daytime?
Well, believe it or not, when we started, we were syndicated. So, but we were syndicated into like 96% of the markets in this country. Which is basically unheard of for a startup show. So we were pretty popular, coming out of the chute. And on top of that, we were the only game in town at that point.
And
People's Court had been off the air for quite a few years already, right? Like that's no offense. But that Judge Wapner is my TV judge, right? Like I stopped watching any TV court shows after Judge Wapner retired and then passed away.
Well, 5 minutes to Wapner, 5 minutes to Wapner. Remember Rain Man? So,
absolutely.
So Judge Wapner was the iconic figure in court TV, and again. At the time, he was the only game in town, but along comes Judge Judy, and man, she just, blew that whole concept out of the water,
Which is I'm sure was a wonderful journey, but at the same time, you ask any of these young punks now if they know who Judge Wapner was, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
I don't think that's right.
Well, ask them what Gunsmoke is, There's some guy that smoked him with a gun, that's gangster. No, that's cowboy.
And you know what, Travis? Like we joke, but those are the judges just like Dr. Oz is the doctor and that's why he's going to be
actually
the
doctors that I know wasn't it that show just called The Doctors and there was like 6 of them?
Yeah,
a bunch of young, good-looking doctors.
It was like 3 of them.
Was there 3? They just had guests.
Yeah.
I think there's a Hot Justice now too, with a bunch of like young, attractive people in robes.
That's a great title for a show, by the way.
Justice.
Hot Justice.
Yeah. Hot Justice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
So Makita, you were
anything hot, hot bitch.
Makita, you were a lottery girl. Like you picked the balls that came out of the.
Yeah. I see you've done your research.
And then
He was a ball picker.
I started off my career in front of the camera. So
that was your first thing, was being a lottery girl?
Yes.
How do you get that
gig? It was on ABC. So the funny story is that my aunt submitted me for the job. They were looking for lottery girls. I had no idea. And some guy called me from the lottery, and he's like, "Can I speak to Makita?" I was like, "Yeah, this is Makita." He was like, "Well, I don't remember his name. This is such and such from the lottery." And I got super excited. And then
she thought you won.
Yeah, I thought I won something actually. But he wanted to offer me a job and have me in for an interview. And I was like, "Oh my God!" And then I found out that my aunt actually gave me the job, actually.
Oh, nepotism. That's how you get the job.
I always thought, because that's still a thing now, right? Like, is attractive young ladies pulling the numbered balls out, smiling, kind of. It's like, I feel like that's the whole deal behind Deal or No Deal, right? It was like somebody was watching the lottery drawing one day, and they're like, what if instead of just one gal, we had like 20 gals, and instead of balls, they were holding briefcases with numbers on it. And then when they open their briefcase, they can smile or frown.
Well, one of those Deal or No Deal gals ended up marrying the Prince of England, Travis.
Pretty good numbers.
It's an upwards trajectory.
Hey, come on, how long has Vanna been turning letters?
Vanna's the OG. Yeah. So.
I feel like we are due for like a switcheroo, right? Like we're gender swapping things. I feel like what the lottery needs now is a 40-year-old overweight balding man with who is a father of two, picking out the balls, and then I make like I'll bite my knuckles, when I pick that's number 40, and I'll be kind of like, yeah, I think that's a nice change of pace.
You do it with your shirt off.
Maybe open, not off.
Oh, yeah, just show a little chest hair coming out the top.
Or we use a former bailiff, to wrestle them to the ground, and
I like it. You just get a bunch of guys.
I got that. Move.
You know what would be?
You get a bunch of guys with numbered shirts and you just tackle them. That'll be the lottery. It's pretty good.
That's it.
It's whoever Petri tackles. Those are the lottery numbers.
That's right. And then they can chase after a little oblong-shaped football. No, that's right. They already have that, right? They already do that every Sunday.
So how do you go from being the lottery person to getting into production? How does that happen?
So actually, I loved my job, but I had to resign because I hit a deer.
You did?
I hit a deer on the Taconic Parkway, and I had panic attacks because we had to drive around New York State to give these awards away. So I couldn't, fulfill the job. So I moved back home. I used to the lottery job was in Schenectady, New York.
Oh.
So I moved back, and I got a degree in broadcast journalism. And I started out interning for Dr. Oz, and then I started working for Dr. Oz, Anderson Cooper, and then I moved to California for Jeff Probst, and the rest is history.
Which one's Jeff Probst? Travis, which one's Jeff?
You know the guy from Survivor?
The Survivor guy,
the Survivor guy. That's why I know that name. He had a show?
So,
yeah, it was one season. That's it.
Did Dr. Oz have, or Anderson Cooper, did any of them have warm-up acts, to get the crowd going?
Well, every show has a warm-up act if it's like a talk show. But the talent doesn't do, any warm-up. They're just there for, your show.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Who? I mean, if you were on set for it, who's your favorite?
To warm up they hire comedians to warm up the audience.
Right. Who is your favorite warm-up comedian that you were around for?
Oh Lord. Oh.
Anybody who sticks out in your head.
Damn.
Nobody. You stumped
I'm really
her.
bad with names, so I know it was a girl, but she was at Jeff Probst. Damn it.
How many
I don't
warm-up
know.
calls?
I think
No,
and then there
Travis.
was Robin
Like,
Williams.
what?
No, it's Robbie Williams, R.I.P. But yeah, I don't remember, to be honest.
All right.
Well, was there an intern that brought you coffee that like did a really good job, like brought you like really, really good coffee? Do you remember their name?
Yes, his name was Julio.
Oh, Julio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Julio sounds great.
Julio.
Is he in the business now? Did he move his way up?
No.
Him today.
Affectionately in the business as Julio the intern. Yeah.
Rocky with the Q-U, Q-U-E. I had pretty good interns.
Any chance that you're going to have these interns as a guest on your new podcast?
Never thought about that because they're doing some really big things.
Travis is an idea guy. You should take it. Write that down.
Never thought about that.
That's it. The search for JTI, Julio the intern.
So then after Jeff Probst, you moved on to working on Judge Judy, and that's where you met Petri.
Oh, no. I moved on to working for Paternity Court and then The Real.
Oh, my God.
And then in 2016 is when I was with Judge Judy.
So you got a extensive resume now, and now
A
you're
long resume, yeah.
Now you're
so in the producing. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
In the producing world, it's like freelance. So you always hop on from different shows. The reason why, Judge Judy was a well-oiled machine. So I stayed there for 6 years until it ended.
So I guess that's what you do when you're looking for somebody. You look at somebody who's already been on something else. It's all about what you've already done.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
entertainment is very small. It's a very small industry. I know you've heard that, but I didn't realize it until I was in the industry. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. So
you're only as good as your last project, I think, is what they say, Mike. Isn't that the rule in industry with Hollywood stuff?
Jodie, Makita, she's on like the morning news now. She does lifestyle and fashion tips.
Yeah.
And I was hoping she could help you out a bit.
Help me?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you need help.
Yeah. Fix me, Makita. Fix me, please. My wife will appreciate it.
Jodie, he.
Tell him you look perfectly fine. He looks perfectly fine.
I think he looks perfectly fine. I wish I saw a picture.
Jodie, we need to send her a picture, and maybe she can help you out a bit because
that's the thing. She says that now until she receives the picture.
Yeah, Jodie, don't send her the pictures that you sometimes send people.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple. I got to flip through and find the right one.
Makita, he's very free with his body. We don't really understand it. I guess that would be a good tip to give him first is to stop that.
Yeah, probably maybe shave, trim. That's probably another good option. Don't wear Crocs. You ever worn Crocs, Makita? Are you a fan of Crocs?
I wasn't a fan of Crocs, but they're very comfortable.
I love Crocs. People make fun of me. They call me dad and all kinds of horrible things, and I just keep wearing.
You are a dad.
I am a dad, but still, it's I get made fun of relentlessly because I'm not a nurse or whatever the appropriate occupation is to wear Crocs. Love 'em.
Maybe Crocs are a walk around the house and barbecue shoe, but not like a go somewhere shoe.
Not out and about. Like, don't put on your Zubaz and your Crocs and go out to
Definitely
the.
not.
I wear Crocs I definitely wear Crocs to the grocery store, but sometimes I put the back down to put them in like 4-wheel drive so I don't fall off when I'm walking through the aisle.
Okay.
See,
so you wouldn't go out like to a to a night out with your wife or girlfriend, right?
Oh, Mickey, I've been married for 8 years. We don't do out anymore. I go pick up food and bring it back here. And
you don't take her out and throw a burger down her throat once in a while?
Not really, man. I don't enjoy eating out. It's weird. I like to drink with my food sometimes, like beer. If I have a burger, I like to have beers. I don't like to drink and drive, and I'm cheap as fuck. So, like, no, I just eat at home.
Perhaps you all missed the part where he said he wears Crocs.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Catch up. He knows. He just met me. He knows what's going on.
I was right here the entire time, man. I was with you the entire time.
So, guys, where should we?
They're trying to send you out on dates, man. You're trying to wear comfortable shoes. Come on.
Guys, where should we send people? I guess the YouTube channel, Bonding with Bird. You search that, that'll all pop up. You guys have like a social media account that I can point people at?
Oh, absolutely. Makita Bond 007 on Instagram and Bird the Bailiff on Instagram as well.
And Bird, now that you
Petri, really quick, I want to, before Mike kind of wraps this up.
I've got one too.
Did you have? You stood up there a lot, right? Like, is there a special shoe that you wore or an insert? Because I mean, that's got to be wickedly uncomfortable to stand there while Judge Judy is shouting at people.
Yeah, 25 years, man. Crocs and Dr. Scholl's.
I like it. Sounds like my kind of guy.
And I'm doing that plug for future work, you know. So if the Dr. Scholl's people are listening, man,
or the Crocs people,
or the Crocs people, I got 20. You want to come back? I'm ready. I'm ready to do this for you.
Film him above the knee.
The Bombas socks, right?
I wish you would have said something like that. He's like, well, I stood up there so long, actually, I just take my shoes off. I was barefoot most of the time on Judge Judy.
That's right. You know, you know, Bermuda shorts. We're pushing those too. You know. So.
Actually, I have another one, Jodie. When I told you that we were talking to Bird the other day, you replied with a GIF of Bird nodding enthusiastically, and I was a GIF. And do you know what you're nodding at?
Okay, so I'm familiar with the GIF.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a very common GIF.
It was. Yeah, and believe it or not, I was nodding. It actually was me nodding not to go to sleep. So it's actually, you know, it looks like I'm affirming something, but actually I'm nodding off, and they caught me, and you know, managed to turn that into a game.
You can only hear about somebody else's comic book collection.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And whose job it was to have my crossword out there, but that person, you're asking an awful lot.
Pick one.
But it's funny. I created my own GIF to oppose that GIF. So that one looks like I'm affirming something. I have another one where I'm shaking my head from side to side, and I put my own I call BS on that one. So I'm gonna send you that one. That one's a better GIF.
I use the other one. I just sent him that one of you biting your lip going, I go, that's the one. I had a question, if you don't mind. It's real quick, too. And after that long on the show, I understand that it's a production and obviously you're kind of doing your thing. But, like, was there ever a moment when you actually kind of had to get involved with anything? And I'm not saying, like, you weren't working. Obviously, you were working hard. I'm saying, but, like, anybody ever get wild and you got to go tackle them or have a stern talking to or hit somebody with a chair? Has that ever happened?
You know what? The thing about it is that with security, right? If nothing happens, right, that means you did your job.
Absolutely.
But of course, everybody looks at you like, what the hell did you do? Well, believe it or not, I kept you from getting killed multiple times, okay, just by the look on my face.
It's a very small room.
To answer your question, in 25 years, I think there was maybe one time that I had to really get up in somebody's, face. And believe it or not, that didn't involve a whole lot of. It didn't involve a whole lot. It was mainly just getting to the guy. My rule always was that I had to get to the guy who was at the center of the storm. You know, so everybody else thinks they're defending him and they're ready to, go toe to toe for this one person. And all you have to do is get to that person and say the following words: if anything happens here today, you're going to be the first one to get hurt. Usually that person will stop all the action. He'll call his people to a halt, you know. Yep. Excuse me. I think we are ready to go now.
We're all good. They make me want to leave just hearing you say it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you seem like a lovely man, Petri, but that kind of gave me a chill.
Hey man, it's all, you know,